We play and call it work.
Hey there, once again it is Steve and Leland here to talk about Cult Mechanicus, and we've been having a blast with this one so far. It's been a really interesting discussion and read through on this. So this is part 7 of our series at this point, and we're going to talk about the detachment and formations at this point. So we're going to start with the basic starter detachment type thing, which is the Battle Congregation.
I like the name.
Yeah, so what stands out for you right away?
Okay, so you must have... This is a misprint. Yours as well? Yeah. See that?
Yes.
Okay, so...
What, don't you have HQ troops? What's going on?
HQ troops. Misprint in our books. If you have the digital version, you're seeing what I'm seeing.
Actually, I'm wondering if it's in the book as well. No,
it's okay,
they got it right in the book.
Okay.
But digitally speaking, they got it wrong. So
you have to have one HQ. So there's your Dominus. No big deal. We love him. He's amazing.
Yeah, Dominus is great.
You have to have 2 troops. No big deal.
Cataphrens
are amazing.
Yeah.
You get up to 6 more troops.
I'll take 6 more troops.
I'll take 6 more Cataphrens. You get up to 4 elites and up to 2 heavy supports.
I'm so glad those are optional. The elites.
What you also are getting the option for one. Yeah, these are terrible. Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
You actually have the option for 1 fortification. What I'm noticing here, there's no Lord of War, so there was no option for the
Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think a lot of people expected the Knight to get in.
Yeah.
Whereas as it is, I think the only way to get the Knight in sort of a single detachment is the that White Dwarf formation that came out. Looks like the Skitarii Battle Maniple, I think the Battle Congregation, and then the Oathsworn detachment. Gotcha.
Now, I'm sorry to derail a little bit from Cult Mechanicus. Did you look at the Imperial Knight book yet?
Bits and pieces.
Is there a formation with 1 knight?
The Oathsworn.
So it's 1 knight.
You can take 1 knight.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're good there.
So you're good. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
A couple of command benefits. You go ahead and take these.
Yeah. So the Tech Adept, that's a pretty standard one. You get to re-roll your Warlord trait.
Everybody gets that one.
Everyone gets that one. And you know what? I like the Warlord traits enough in this one that a re-roll is not that bad an idea. I think a lot of them, or at least
same as I think the last few books, they've been pretty good. I've been using them.
Yeah, and if you're not using the reroll, is kind of beneficial in that regard. So I mean that's standard. I like it. But it also has the Divine Chorus. Now this is a big one because it allows you to take advantage of your canticles a little bit more. Basically, it allows you to reuse a canticle that you have previously used in the game. Now, why this is a big deal is that these canticles are typically 1 use only.
Yeah.
So once you use it, you've lost it. Like that's it. You get your 1 use. So this formation, this detachment, allows you to reuse the second one. So if you want to do, like if you get first turn and you want to get that stealth and shrouded and whatnot, and then second turn you still have enough to really take advantage of that, you can use it again.
Well, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing this is for me going to replace the allied detachment that I was planning on using.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this detachment with 1 Dominus and 2 units of Cataphron as a add-on to one of my armies. I still battle for it. Because I get my canticles. He won't have a Warlord trait. She's not going to be a Warlord.
Yeah. But you know, you take the relic that allows you to boost your canticles to the max level.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
You could. I mean, but basically, I'm going to use it for either really good holding of objectives or just vehicle killing.
Oh, absolutely.
Like this what do they call it? Formation. No, sorry, detachment is super useful.
Yeah.
It can be an army. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it's not one of those formations that are just blow your mind amazing. But for a
under
basic,
500 points for what's requiring you to take,
yeah,
it's a good add-on for any army.
Yeah, for a basic formation, our detachment, it's solid.
Yeah.
It's really solid. It gives you a nice command benefit right there, which is again really good.
And make it 800 points and add on a unit of robots.
Of Castellan robots. Yeah,
I can't remember the names. I'm not going to remember.
Castellan robots.
Cataphron and Castellan.
Cataphron and
Castellan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Trainwreck.
If
you can't tell, we're not big fans of the Electro Priests, but if you watch the reviews,
you'll know why.
All right, so that's the basic detachment right there.
Very basic, very simple. Yeah. I like it. Doesn't have to be a whole army.
No, exactly.
But it has uses.
And that leads us into the formations themselves. And anyone who's watched all the videos knows I've been harping on the formations.
Yep.
for the entire thing, and you finally get to find out why.
See, that's something that it's weird because as we do, well, for me, we're doing these videos, and a lot of times when we're reviewing things, we're like, oh, and by the way, when we talk about the formations later, you'll understand why I love this much. Yeah. So these are very much a core part of the game now.
They are.
They're a big factor of the game. We probably should maybe introduce these into the actual units we're talking about or something.
Maybe.
It's hard to separate them.
You know what? Leave some comments if you guys feel that we should be discussing formations before we discuss the units themselves. That's
or another way of intertwining, because they don't feel separate from the units. You don't take one or the other. They're very too intertwined now. That
the only problem with where you're going with pairing the unit with a formation is that a lot of formations.
It's the other units and other formations.
Exactly.
Where do we draw the line per video?
Exactly. Yeah. So we kind of have to do these all in one. But leave comments. Let us know if you want to see it a different way. At the very least, we can examine it and see how well that works.
Yeah, right? But it is hard. Like, oh, we're talking about the formation later on. We'll talk about the formation later on.
I know. So I'm going to start with the cohort Cybernetica. Yes. Because I've gone back to this one so many times. So the basic requirements, you need 1 Tech Priest Dominus, and you need 2 units of Castellan robots.
So you're looking at like 700 points minimum.
About that, yeah. 700 points, barring upgrades and whatnot. Now, right off the bat, you have the Adept of the Cybernetica. Now, what this allows you to do, where is it here? Yeah, so it basically gives you the ability to declare your battle protocol and have it take effect right away.
With no penalty.
With no penalty. So it does what the Relic does, but better.
That's why you kept saying wait.
That's why I kept saying wait.
Okay. That means a game changer.
That is a game changer. Now, it's the Tech Priest Dominus.
So you guys watched the video, I think, yesterday. For us, it was 5 minutes ago.
For me, it was an eternity. Just getting through the day, man. Just getting through the day. But yeah, so you need the Tech Priest Dominus. So it's important that the Dominus does not die.
Who cares? It's a good model anyway.
It's a great model. And the fact that the Dominus is a part of the unit. He cannot leave the unit. It says it right down there in the little gray box there. As part of the restrictions. It's not.
Oh, I don't like that. But here you have 4 robots, 2 priests, and a Dominus, all one unit?
Yes. Yeah, so they're all one unit.
It's a lot of eggs in one basket.
It's a lot of eggs in one basket. However, if you look at the other benefit that you get from the Cybernetica, which is the target override, for every Datasmith and for every Dominus in there, you can basically opt to not fire their weapon, and they can basically take control of one of the Castellan robots and shoot at another target. So you're lumping them all into one unit, but you still have that freedom of shooting at multiple things. So with 1 Datasmith and you're going to have at least 2 Datasmiths and 1 Dominus. So right there, 3 of your robots can fire at different targets.
But you have to declare all that before you start firing.
Does it say that?
Well, no, but if you think about how the game's going to work, if you have all same weapon, right, you have to fire all the weapons the same.
That is a fair point. But the point remains.
The ability to do it, if you want to, is there.
Yeah, and that's the big thing right there. And remember, there's no restrictions about taking a Datasmith and the Dominus and firing at the same target with those ones.
Exactly.
So if you have, say you do 6. Yep. For the sake of this discussion, we'll say you do 6 robots, right? And 2 Datasmiths and one thing. You can set it up in such a way where 3 of your robots fire at 1 unit, and then you take the 3 infantry-sized models, and those 3 guys direct the other 3 Castellans to fire at another unit. So you're basically... You might not remove a squad or an enemy unit per turn in that range of fire, but you're going to cripple stuff.
But now you have, with that, what you just said right there, you have to buy 2 more robots. You're now over 1,000 points.
Okay, just stick it with the basic 2, like minimum size squads. You can still do 2 and 2.
Yeah. So you're still 700.
I use 3 because I'm probably going to be putting 3 into my squads in one.
Your small ones, okay. It scares me to put 1,000 points into one squad. That's one objective they're holding, one objective they're scoring.
Holding objective? What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, just table.
I'm taking the fight to them. And that's the thing. This is a unit that can actually reliably eliminate units.
It does say that you all have to be put into one unit.
Yes.
But it also says that every one of the maniples and the Dominus counts as a separate unit for determining canticles. So we'll count as 3 units for canticles.
Yeah. Which is still kind of cool.
Yes, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, because it means you're always guaranteed 3 in there, right?
Yeah.
And
so you just need one more unit on the board, you're getting the mid tier.
And that's why I really like this formation.
Well, maybe it won't be that hard to get the mid or the high tier. Because you have your Lord, you have...
It all depends. It all depends, right? But I really like this. The ability to split fire. Like, this is actually a really beefy form of split fire, in my opinion.
Oh, it's better than split fire for sure.
Because here's the thing. The Dominus and the Datasmiths, they have pistol range stuff.
Yep.
So...
Well, the Dominus can get that really good laser
still,
beam.
only 24 inch range, right? So if you're firing the heavy phosphor blast...
24?
Yeah, it's only 24,
okay.
the eradication ray. But, so if you're firing the heavy phosphor blasters, you don't care about the pistol range stuff
exactly.
Anyway. So, say you're playing against Tyranids. And they have two Turvagons. You know what? You split fire, like you have 2 fire at one Turvagon, 2 fire at another Turvagon. The odds are good that there's going to be 2 dead Turvagons.
Wow.
I think the odds are good on that one if you use the right canticle at the right time. Because a Turvagon has what, 6 wounds?
Well, what I love about split fire for me is you take one of them and all of them fire at a unit. One of them fires at the thing you want to charge at.
Yep.
So that's fire at one unit, you charge at that one.
That's another really nice advantage right there as well. It gives you more than just one other unit that you can charge at.
Yeah,
with this particular
you
form,
can technically get up to 4 different targets.
Yeah, and it gives you lots of options in that regard.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's expensive point wise. It's pretty cool.
But why aren't you running that many? Why aren't you running that many Castellans anyway?
That's a whole different argument.
But that's the thing. I'm probably going to be running that many Castellans anyway.
Okay.
So for me, the points investment is just kind of whatever.
Mash them all together.
I'm
only playing Nostromo Warriors.
Make a super unit.
It's not going to be very mobile though. You're relying on your long range firepower.
That's true. I'll call each robot. There'll be Crosby, Stills, Young, and Nash. That's what I'm going to call them. They're going to be my super group.
We had a whole different argument today.
It wasn't an argument. You were wrong. So anyway. That's the cohort Cybernetica. It's okay, Steve.
Moving on!
Moving on! The Elimination Maniple is next. Now, this one you're going to like.
2 to 3 units of Cataphrone destroyers. Which one were the destroyers again?
They're the ones with the 2 weapons. So not the arc
the gun guys.
Yeah. So you got 2 to
Which
3.
I'm liking destroyers a lot too, though. So.
Oh, they're grav cannons.
Grav cannons, 30-inch range.
And 1 to 3 Castellan robot maniples.
So I'm gonna take 1 manipule.
So this is another great formation because of the elimination volley. Now the really cool thing about this one is that if you at least scored a wound or a penetrating hit that has the Luminogen special rule, all the Cataphrone destroyers that target the same enemy get +1 ballistic skill. So they basically become ballistic skill 4. And
seeing as I'm probably going to use all, if I were to play Cult Mechanicus, I'd probably use all those units anyway. Yeah. Free ability.
And ignores cover. Yeah. Suddenly things make sense. So, so at this point, this actually makes it interesting to bring multiple Castellan robots as well, like the Maniples. Because it just says, as long as a Castellan robot from this formation scores 1 or more unsaved wounds or glancing hits, right? So you can have 1 unit fire at 1 unit, you can have another one fire at another unit, and then you can split the Cataphrone.
We've all had the situation where we're trying to take something down and we start slowly picking away on it, and it's not going down, and you fire the next thing out. You did a hull point, it's not going down. This one, you get that first wound off, it's very likely to go down afterwards.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and the way you can do it, if you take 2 of the Maniples and 2 of the Cataphrons, then all of a sudden what you can do is you can do Maniple, Cataphrone. Unit's still alive? Okay, let's fire another Cataphrone at it. Or you do the Maniple, Cataphrone, take out the unit? Okay, cool. Then do Maniple, Cataphrone to a different unit and get that benefit all over again, right? So it provides some really nice flexibility in that regard.
You got to pay attention to what you're doing when you play the game then.
You do.
You can't just
you can't do autopilot anymore.
Not with this. You really can't, actually. You really can't. There's a lot of this triggers this and...
Yeah, there's a lot of things you have to pay attention to. I almost feel like I'm playing Magic the Gathering at this point.
Right?
Yeah, there's just so much going on. I feel like a Timmy deck. What's going on? Or no, was that...
I would like to hope most of our viewers don't get that.
No, they're going to get that. But the best part is it could also be a spike deck.
I don't want to talk about Magic. I don't dislike it. I just don't like it.
Moving on! Next up is the Numinous Conclave.
I just want to skip it.
We have to talk about that.
I get the interactions and I kind of like the idea they had here. I ain't paying that many points.
Alright, so let's talk about what this is. The Numinous Conclave is you have the requirements of 2 to 3 units of the Fulgurite Electro Priests.
No.
And 2 to 3 units of the Corpuscari Electro Priests.
No.
Now the benefits they're going to get Crusader. To which I respond, whoop-de-doo, Basil. Because that means you're not even shooting your meager weapons that you're paying an arm and a leg for.
Well, they're probably not going to be in range anyway, so you have to run.
Yeah, exactly. But it also gives a rule called the Corpuscari Giveth, which basically what it is, if you're within 6 inches of one or more of the Fulgurite Electro Priest units, you add 1 additional shot to your gauntlets.
So the shooter guys, if they're within 6 inches of the staff guys, they get 1 more shot.
And any successful wounds cause the unit to be electrified until the end of the assault phase.
So you can electrify your enemy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, could you quickly look up what the electrify does again?
Yeah, it's actually in the Fulgurite taketh away.
Oh, here we go.
In the second rule, the Fulgurites taketh away.
Yeah, so where do we go here? So any unit that's been electrified, you get to re-roll your failed to wound rolls. So...
Okay, so we have a really expensive short-range shooting unit that can't survive. That's going to get an extra shot for being close to the melee guy, and they're going to fire into a unit and then electrify them, so when the melee guy charges in, he re-rolls to wound. I mean, there's a lot of...
It wasn't enough that GW made these guys bad. They had to make them complicated,
right,
too.
Why? I don't want to work. I don't want to work.
Yeah.
I'm here to play a game. This is... I like the idea. I see what it could have been. I just have no intention of ever trying this.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's too pricey for what you're doing, because minimum, you're looking at 360 points for this unit. But that's minimum
squads. And you can't play the minimum squads. You got to play them all max squad. So you're looking at 720 points for the squad. Yep. You have to even try.
And you know what?
And half your army for this?
And at 720 points, they better be removing a squad of churn.
No, and they're not going to. They're just not going to. Like, scouts have more firepower than these guys.
Jeez.
No, it's...
Yeah, it's... I don't know what happened with this Quagmire that is the Electro Priests. Something went pear-shaped with them, and... I don't know. They came out half-baked, which is really, really unfortunate.
I mean, if you were to use these... restrictions. You must have an equal number of each type of unit in this formation. So it's 2 to 3, so you have 2 of the melee guys. Yeah. You have to have 2 of the... Yeah.
Or you have to have 3 and 3 and so on.
So that's not... But I mean, no.
It's a good formation. It's a bad unit. I think that's the thing. If the unit was better, those rules actually not so bad.
If.
Yeah.
It was 1 and 1. And if they could share a transport, I would try it.
Or combine them in a single unit. 1 and 1 combined to a single unit.
Yeah, sure. Have the shooters allow the guys with staves to reroll. Yeah.
We've already seen precedent for that. The Dominus with the Stellan cohorts, right?
Even then. So,
I know.
I can't make it work. I can't figure it out.
It's frustrating. Like I said, I'm going to play around with them. I'm going to see what, if anything, I can do with them. But I'm not really hopeful on it, unfortunately. I don't think that's...
Compare them to any of the new Codex, Codices, Eldar, Necrons, Demonkin.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it. Doesn't stand up to the cut.
And it's unfortunate because of a book of otherwise
I have a theory. We discussed this before. We'll talk about it later, actually.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the final video. So let's talk about this final formation here, which is the Holy Requisition, I believe.
1 Tech Priest, 2 to 3 Cataphon Breachers. Those guys over there with the haywire guns.
Now this one is really cool. I actually, as much as I love the Stellan robots, this is my favorite formation.
Okay.
So first off, it's going to grant the entire formation Deep Strike.
Which, I'd rather have that on the Destroyers, not the Breachers.
Well, these are the ones with the arc rifles. Keep that in mind. Now, they're all going to have Deep Strike. They're all going to roll as a single unit.
Oh, they have the Flamers too, don't they? Or can't get the Flamers?
No, they don't take the Flamers. They are they're the ones with the close combat weapon, and the arc rifles are the graviton cannons. The torsion cannons. So they all roll as a single unit, first off. That's the big deal right there. The Apparition Extremis gives them that ability right there. And you can re-roll it. So you have a very good chance that they're
going to... Yeah, that's why I think Destroyers would have been better. They could have the Flamer on them.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, it is... I don't see anything about them saying you roll on turn 1, so it looks like it's something that you're rolling for reserves as normal. But here's the thing. The Tech Priest Dominus, if you place him within 6 inches of an objective, he's not scattering.
Which is pretty cool. That's very cool.
That's very cool. But it gets even cooler. If you place the Cataphren breachers within 6 inches of the Dominus or within 6 inches of the of an objective marker, no, just the Dominus, not the objective marker, they don't scatter.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you have a very controlled deep strike.
Okay, but is there a rule stating that the tech priest? What happens if you roll your Cataphrons and they come on before the tech priest?
They don't. You roll as a single unit.
Does it say that?
Yes. Yeah, right at the very top. All models in this formation placed in reserve. When making reserve rolls, make a single roll for the entire formation. So they all come in together.
Okay.
And it's a very controlled deep strike.
Okay, and they're all 3 separate units still.
Yeah, they're still all 3 separate units. And basically, it allows you to put yourself on an objective and just hold that objective. And that's a lot of firepower.
So they'll have the counterattack and Zealot special rule as well.
Which is... That's not bad.
If you're going to go up front and contest somebody else's objective, it's not a bad idea to have those 2 rules.
Oh yeah, that's great for those. Like I see that as just icing on the cake type thing. It's that very controlled sort of deep strike.
They still have their claws.
And then once you combine that with the arc rifles, the heavy arc rifles, and the torsion cannon, I mean they can come down in a great position to remove stuff.
Well, now I'm comfortable taking the 1-shot strength 8 AP1 attack now, the 24-inch range one.
The torsion cannon?
Yeah, because you're up. Probably on their lines.
You're in somebody's face right away. Yeah. You take a unit, say you have 2 or 3 of those torsion cannons. That's a Wraith Knight right there, very likely.
See, I'm not. This is not an auto include for me. It's not bad. It's okay.
I really like it.
I'm not a big fan of having 400 points in reserve.
But here's the thing: for an army that lacks a lot of mobility,
yeah,
Mechanicus does. They're not as speedy as the Codex Scutari are.
And that's his overall weakness.
Yeah, I feel that having that very controlled deep strike is great as long as you can hold down the churn. And you know what? If you have a bunch of Castellan robots, you're holding out the churn. That's the thing. Like I
don't think you can spend the minimum amount of points though, or sorry, the minimum squad number on these guys. I think you got to beef them up about 5%.
I agree with you completely. You need.
So now you're
them to
looking
be
at another 200 points. So
you're looking at 250 a unit of Cataphrens.
Yeah, so you're about 500 points.
And then the Dominus right there, you're looking at 600.
No, you're looking at 600. Yeah,
you're looking at 600 points. So you run this, and you run the Castellan, the cohort Cybernetica, for instance. You got your 1,500 point army there, more or less.
It's so small, that army.
It's so small, but you know
it's got good firepower. It's got long range fire. It's got staying. It's got toughness. It's got all that.
Remember though, you're talking to a guy who plays these small elite armies.
Fair enough.
So for me, that I'm used to that. Yeah, for people who play larger armies, I mean, I can see why that's a very scary thought. But when you have that many toughness 7 models on the table, it's going to be hard to remove them on a turn.
Fair enough.
So I think the odds of being able to get them in are fairly high.
I just love them all. They can't flip you over to the next page. Just look at the models. Yeah. They're just beautiful.
So, but all in all, I'm really liking the formations. I feel that the formations bring a lot to the table, except for the Electro Priest one. Yeah, yeah. We don't talk about that one anymore. But all in all, like
they should not be named.
I can easily see. I can easily see running an army made up of 2 or 3 formations. Like at 1,500 points, 2 formations. At 2,000, easily a 3rd formation in there, or ally in with a knight.
I would like to have 3 or at least 1 formation per 500 points.
That's not too bad. I mean, that's understandable. I think the problem is Cult Mechanicus. A lot of their stuff is pricey.
Yes, it is very much. So.
There's no getting around that fact. It's the pricey part to the Scutari book, basically. But I like what I see.
Okay.
I really do.
There's stuff I really like, more than I dislike, for sure.
Yeah.
It's just how it all fits together now.
Well, that's the topic of our next video. So, you guys can click the link below. That's going to take you to the Vault video. Now, if you're not Vault members, you can still click the link below and get access to the 7-day free trial, where there's lots of great content. Obviously, anything we put out on YouTube, you're going to see the counterpart for it in the Vault as well. So, lots of content.
Yeah. Well, even more so. We actually put more in the Vault.
Even more so because there's also painting tips. There's some behind-the-scenes stuff, all that sort of stuff.
Open vaults, our rules discussions.
So there's a lot of content back there. So check out the 7-day free trial. It's no obligation. You got 7 days. Watch as much as you want. Watch as little as you want. If you like it, we'd love to have you stick around because you'll become part of a great community. There's lots of people that participate with the Vault stuff. Lots of great discussions and conversations and whatnot. And, it's just great to see more friendly faces on that one. So definitely check it out. If it's not for you, it's not for you. It's as simple as that, right? And everyone has their own taste in that regard. So definitely check it out, at least to give the 7-day free trial a shot. Otherwise, if you are a Vault member, check the link below, and we're going to go right into the next discussion, where we're going to talk about how the end of it all, how Cult Mechanicus fits into the greater cosmos that is 40K.
The world that we have right now with 40K.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Current environment. That's the word.
Yeah. So go ahead and click the link below, and happy wargaming.